Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about the books that we got in June that I am reading in, it's September. It's September. But I have been working on this video for quite a while because I had quite a few books in this video. We had 5 books that I read in this video. I have already finished it. I just threw on a little coat, so this shirt's going to look familiar at the end of the video. But I have finished already. We have gotten through the 5 books and I'm really excited to talk to you about them. So I really hope you enjoy this video. Let's talk about the books that we are going to be getting through. So we have Love in Focus from Afterlight, A Forgery of Fate from Owlcrate, The Incandescent from Owlcrate, A Treachery of Swans from Illumicrate, and Air of Storms from Fairyloot. But those are the books that we're going to cover in this video. We kind of have like a nice little mix of some adult fantasy, young adult fantasy, and even a romance. So that's really, really nice. There's at least something a little bit different in here. Anyway, let's get right into reading these. Remember, it is always spoiler free. I'm just going to give you my reviews and my ratings for these. I'm really excited, so let's get into the video. We have officially finished our first book for reading all of my June books. I know it is August. I am so behind, but I just, you guys know, I've been having a rough time. And then I got sick. I went on a cruise, got sick, but I did end up reading Love in Focus while I was sick, and I listened to it almost entirely on audiobook. I actually do think enhanced the reading experience, and it was good. It was good. I don't think it did anything remarkable compared to like other stories that I read. It was just like a cute, simple time. I do prefer a little more comedy in my like romance books that I read. This was definitely a little bit more on the dry side, and I do think that the dialogue was a little bit stilted sometimes. Like it felt like you were being told their feelings for each other a lot of times instead of seeing it like on their faces and kind of stuff like that. And their conversations were very abrupt and like matter of fact and stuff like that. So I mean, if you want something that is just very, very straightforward, this is definitely the book for you. If you like more kind of figuring out if they like each other and stuff like that, then this may not be your favorite book. But I thought it was just fine. I ended up giving it a 3-star. It was cute for what it was. Again, I don't know if I'll remember much about this book later on, but I am happy it was a 3. Like I had a good time. A 3 is basically just absolutely average for me. I didn't love it. I didn't dislike it at all. I just had a time reading it. So I enjoyed it. I did like the characters. I enjoyed their dynamic together. I generally don't love second chance romances, and I think that did hurt me a little bit in this because I was enjoying the beginning a lot, and then it just kind of felt dull as they were trying to get to know each other again because there really wasn't that was going on. Like they kind of jumped right back into a relationship, which I wanted a little more time to get to know them as characters. And again, I don't think we got that totally in this book, but like I said, this is a really, really cute book. I am glad that I read it. I have no regrets. But yeah, so if you're curious about this and you want to read it, I would go ahead and read it. If it was not on your radar before, it's fine. It's fine. If you really want a simple, cute, sapphic romance story, well, I would pick this one up. That's really good. Otherwise, it kind of just exists as a book. It's cute. Didn't do anything spectacular. So unfortunately, that leaves us with the books in the rest of the video. They're all fantasy and they're all significantly more difficult to get through. I literally started with the easiest one, which was my fault. I probably should have put this one in the middle of the video, but oh well. So we have, I'm trying to think what we have. We have The Incandescent. We have A Treachery of Swans. We have, oh no, there's like 2 more. I don't remember what they are. I'm like looking at what's here for next month because it's like weeding out what we have. What are the other one? I think it's there's like 2 more. Is another one in Owlcrate? Yeah, The Incandescent. Oh, A Forgery of Fate by Elizabeth Lim. We have that one. So I'm not sure what I'm going to pick up. Yeah, because we had the 2 Owlcrates, Incandescent, A Forgery of Fate. We had the Afterlight, which I just read. We have A Treachery of Swans, which is the Illumicrate. And then, what is the last one? What is it? I don't remember what it is. That's I feel like that doesn't bode well. Anyway, I don't know what I'm picking yet. I will let you know when I end up choosing. It's definitely going to be like a vibe situation. I'm still sick. It's not too bad. It's not too, I feel like today's the first morning I've woken up where I'm like, okay, I might feel a little bit better. Might actually be feeling a little bit better. I'm still definitely congested, but I have gotten 35% into A Treachery of Swans, so I am right there. I chose this one next because it actually has like the lowest rating besides Love in Focus, so I was trying to like give myself the best chance of liking things later in the video, because I feel like it's really depressing to end a video on a DNF or a book that you aren't enjoying. And I'm kind of glad I'm doing that because I don't know if I'm going to be continuing in this book. I really don't know. And I think it's mostly because I'm just so horribly bored. Like there's nothing objectively wrong with this book. Like there's nothing that's actually wrong with this book. It's just, it's so boring. Like I'm so bored. I don't really care for any of the characters. And I will say, having read this book, I hate the cover even more, like, because especially with the narrator, so I am listening to a lot of it, like I'm doing a mix between reading it and listening to it, and the narrator kind of narrates them like they're middle grade. Like this feels like a middle grade book, not a young adult book or an adult book, which I looked it up. Apparently it is supposed to be young adult, but it just reads very young. Like if you read so young. And again, I feel like we're running into the situation where I just haven't enjoyed pretty much any fairy tale retellings. Like it's very, very rare for me to enjoy a fairy tale retelling. I think I just don't really like retellings that much. I don't know what it is, because I don't really enjoy Greek retellings. It's very rare for me to enjoy one of those. I'm like, okay, so is it the combination of just nothing's really happening, plus the fact that it feels like it's middle grade, plus it is a retelling, that I'm just not enjoying myself? Like, I had no problem finishing Love and Focus and then giving it a 3-star. This is one of those situations where it's like, this would be like a 2 or a 2.5 because I'm actively not enjoying my time reading it, even though there's nothing actually wrong with it. So this would be on like this side of the scale of not enjoying, but not actually having a problem with it. So I don't know, like I'm so torn because I don't want to DNF it, but I also just don't want to read it. Like I literally don't want to continue reading it. I just don't care. I don't care. I don't care about the characters. I don't care about the plot line. I don't really see what's important about this book in general. And I feel like we've run into, yet again, another Illumicrate book where it's just so painfully mediocre that I just have no interest in continuing it. I guess I didn't tell you what this book was about either. I just realized that. So it's following our main character, Odile. And she is like a street urchin kind of thing, where she was picked up by this guy who turns out he is a sorcerer. She has been tasked with stealing this magical artifact from the royal family, and in order to do that, she has to like steal the identity of who you would consider the white swan, because it's basically like the white swan and the black swan. And that's kind of everything that's happened so far. Like that's really it. And there's like fairy tale aspects to it, and there's like a murder plot that's happened, but it's not really very interesting. Like I don't really care about the murder plot. I just really don't care about the book. So that's pretty much the whole storyline as of right now, and I don't know why I should care. So again, I'm gonna continue reading it, see if I find some caring while I'm reading this, but otherwise this might be a DNF. I did end up DNFing A Treasure of Swans for this video, and part of me feels kind of guilty about it because there's nothing expressly wrong with this book. I'm just so incredibly bored, and I just didn't want to read it anymore. Like any thought about picking up this book would send me into like a spiral of watching any TV show I could find on Netflix and Paramount and Peacock, because I didn't want to read this. I didn't want to read this, and I feel like when you go to pick up a book and you're just like, I don't want to read it, I feel like it's time to DNF it. And that's what I did with this one. And I like somewhat, I don't regret it. There's just so much guilt with this series. Like there really is. There is so much guilt with this series about me not wanting to DNF these books because they're brand new books. I just got them, but I gave this book 150 pages. Give it 150 pages. And I just could not do anymore. I couldn't do anymore. And now that it's probably been 4 or 5 days since I actually DNF'd this book, I just have absolutely no feelings about it. Like, I don't know if I would be able to pick this up and figure out what was going on, like in the sections that I read already. And again, I feel like that is a sign of, oh, if you can put a book down for 4 days and immediately forget everything that happened in it and have no desire to pick it up, I think that is not the book for you. I think it does help that I really did not like this cover, and I maintain that having read 150 pages. I don't think this cover did this book any favors because the book felt so young. It felt so young, how people were interacting, how they were talking. Just the writing in general just felt really young. Like it felt very juvenile. And this cover did not help the situation. This cover was in the back of my brain and it was like, oh, this is like a middle grade book. This is a middle grade book. It's definitely not, but that's when my brain kept going back to the combination of the writing and this. So I don't, that absolutely did not do any favors. So I don't regret DNFing it. I'm sad about it though. I am sad because I really didn't want to DNF any books in this, which led to the next situation. And I'm really sorry I didn't give any updates for this next one because I was very upset about this one. And I was like, you know what? I just want to go into this next book. I just want to go into this next book. Let me read 50% of this book and then I will come and update you and tell you what I decided to read next. But I ended up picking up Air of Storms, and I did finish this book yesterday. I read 300 pages yesterday of this book, which is why I just didn't. Okay, so the problem is, I did finish this. I wanted to DNF it at about 75 pages. I was so not enjoying my time. Funny thing is, I actually loved the first 50 pages, and then the next 250, no, more than that, because this book is 450 pages. I enjoyed the first 50 pages. So the next 300 pages were painful. They were painful to get through. And I knew that if I stopped reading this and I got up and updated you guys, I would DNF it. If I came to update you at 50%, I would have 100% DNF'd it. And I so wish that I had. I so wish that I had. So this one is following our main character. This is what got me, first of all. The naming conventions in this book absolutely killed me. And that was the first red flag of this one. And our main character's name is Blaze, and her twin brother Flint are born into this flame-wielding family. So this is all about the elements, which is like my jam. I love that shit. And so there's also like a competition in here. So we're following Blaze as our main character and her brother Flint, and they're born into this very like wealthy family, and they are one of the royal-esque kind of families, like they're directly attached to the royal families. And the royalty in this are kind of different because it's like the gods choose heirs and then the heirs compete for the throne. So it's not like passed on. It's also like random when the gods decide to choose to do it. So that still wasn't explained very well. And that was something that I struggled with for most of the book, is that not a lot of this world was explained. The magic system wasn't explained very well, which I assume will get better in the next book. I am thinking about trying the next book, but I don't have very high hopes for it because I did end up giving this a 2.5. There were some aspects I liked. I loved the first 50 pages. I really liked the last 100, but that leaves you with 300 pages in the middle where it felt like kind of nonsense at some points. The writing was a bit of a struggle. Again, we had a situation of the banter was very cringy between characters, like to the point that I struggled reading interactions between some of the side characters. And that's normally like, I normally love a side character, but a lot of these side characters just were so strange in how they interacted with each other. It was a very like, oh, bro, what you doing, bro? Like kind of thing. And I was just like, I don't like this. Like this breaks me out of the story completely. And it happened a lot. And then our main characters' names being Blaze and Flint just absolutely killed me the whole book. But the point of the book is that our main character is born into a fire family, but this is not a spoiler, but she is a rain singer. Turned out she was born with water powers. No one has any idea why. It just is what happened, and everyone fears her because she created a flood that killed thousands and thousands of people when she was a baby. And that's just what it is. I don't know. Like, I feel like it was a really weird way to open up this book because it was as if she was the only person that has ever done that before. But there's been other rain singers in existence, so you would think it would have happened previously, or you would have been like prepared for something like this. I don't know. It was a very strange opener to just be like, our main character killed thousands and thousands of people. Like, I feel like it just wasn't necessary. You didn't have to do that, because then you introduce like a couple of different characters. There's a prince character because they all go to this court because they are all competing for these thrones, because there's like 5 thrones or something, but you're competing for 4 depending on what your power is. And there's just a lot of mixed signals going on with character interactions. There's one character who was like a really fun, nice character, and then had a sudden heel turn and turned into this violent, despicable character randomly. It did not make any sense whatsoever. It was a very bizarre decision. It's like he wasn't supposed to be like that. And then it was like she felt like she needed to add something to the book, so she made him bad suddenly. It was a very strange decision with that. This is I have conflicting feelings about the romance because I'm glad it took the direction that it did. And I think it has set up book 2 to be interesting. But at the same time, I'm just like a little bit annoyed that that happened. But at the same time, I am glad that it did. I'm being cryptic because it's actually like a really big plot point that surprised me, legitimately surprised me. I was actually pretty impressed with that. The other problem is none of the other twists surprised me. The only one that surprised me was the romantic twist. I was not very surprised about the other two. Like there's 2 other reveals that were like, yeah, okay. Like this is pretty obvious that this is happening. But again, I really like how this ended. I think it did set up a basis for a potentially good second book, but I think she really needs to work on her writing of banter, her writing of romance in general. I think she got there at the end. Like I feel like she actually started doing, like she started really understanding her characters more towards the end. I do want to see more characterization of Blaze. Blaze was, oh, she had no personality, which is what I struggled with because I was like, why are these men obsessed with her? Why are these men obsessed with her? Like, I don't get it. I have to understand that there's something there that they are like, oh my gosh, like she's amazing. And I didn't get that. I didn't get that at all in this book. She just felt like she was being whisked from scene to scene instead of being any type of change in the world. Like she was kind of useless, unfortunately. So again, it was a very generic fantasy. I feel like it felt like a debut. Like it felt like a lot more work needed to be put into this to really expand the world and to really get there with what she was trying to do with the book. So I can appreciate what this did somewhat, but I definitely think this probably could have had a couple more pass-throughs with editing and kind of plot points and making things a little more surprising and make a little bit more sense, because I still don't really fully understand the magic system in this and why our main character is such a big deal, because her power doesn't seem that big of a deal. So that is what I struggle with this and why it is getting a 2.5. It is just so middle of the road, but on the negative side. Like I feel like if I'm middle of the road with something, like Love and Focus is a 3 because I generally had a good time, but it was very middle of the road. This middle of the road, but I struggled more with this and I wanted to DNF, so it's going down to a 2.5. So that's, I mean, literally straight up middle of the road. So this, not a great time. Not a great time, but I did finish it and I will be trying the second book. So that is the update on those 2 books. I think what I have left is The Incandescent and A Forgery of Fate. I am going to take a little bit of break from this vlog because of how much of a struggle these last 2 books are. Or were. I am going to go finish the YouTube Influence Me video because I think that's going to be a nice palette cleanser, because I am on a horror book and it's the last book of that, so it'll be nice to finish that book, read something a lot different than a fantasy, and kind of feel like I've accomplished something, and then I will turn to this. But I do plan on continuing this. I might bring some of these books to the beach. It just depends, because I don't think I'm going to finish this before the beach. So I think I might bring these 2 last books to the beach, but I do need to read The Moth and the Night and the Moth. But yeah, I don't know. This video is going, it's mixed. It's mixed. I've already read more at least than the last video, but Love and Focus 3-star, Treasure of Swans DNF, but it wasn't like arguably bad. It just wasn't my style of book. And then Air of Storms is 2.5, which arguably kind of is a little bit bad. But I saved supposedly the best 2 for last. And that's kind of like, fingers crossed, hope for ending off on a good side of this. And I'm hoping The Night and the Moth is also really, really good, because I've already read like a chapter of it and it's kind of amazing. The writing already and it's so good already. It's so good, but I don't trust it. I don't trust it because that's how I felt about this. I loved the first chapter of this book as well. So I'm gonna go read some things. I'll let you know what I end up deciding on. I am about 2 hours back from vacation. That is kind of why I got a little bit behind on things, but at the same time, for some reason, I was so motivated to read during vacation. So I was able to get through actually a ton of stuff. So I have finished 2 vlogs while I was on vacation, but unfortunately, I was mostly reading them on Kindle and I did not bring the physical copy, so I just didn't do updates, which I probably should have, have, but I just wasn't feeling it. I did not want to do anything while I was on vacation, which is why nothing ended up coming out on Wednesday, because I did have a plan for Wednesday, but then I was like, you know what? We're gonna relax. So it is Saturday. I'm trying to get one of these videos up tomorrow, and I think I'm gonna put up reading all my June books because I have finished that video, which is crazy, but I haven't talked to you at all about two of the books, which I realized. So we're gonna quickly talk about these two books, especially because one is a DNF. One is a DNF. I'm curious if you will be able to figure out which one of these you think is the DNF. We have The Incandescent by Emily Tesh, and then we have A Forge Your Fate by Elizabeth Lim. I feel like this is probably easy to guess because of the history with these two authors if you watch the channel a lot. So the one that I ended up DNFing was The Incandescent, and I should have known. I really did not know that this was the author of Some Desperate Glory, and I had such a problem with the writing style in Some Desperate Glory, and that pretty much just carried on to this book. This is not a bad book. This is I personally just do not like the writing style and how the characters are described in this book. It's also, it's just weird. It's very pretentious. And I can like a pretentious book. I liked Alone with You in the Ether. That is pretentious as hell. But there's like a different type of pretentious. This is like more like the Secret History pretentious, which I did not like at all. So it just depends what style it is. So I think a lot of people are really gonna love this. I also felt weird following the teacher. I don't know why. I thought it'd be really, really cool, but I was not interested in how the teacher was written in this book. And I think it's because it was written in a very cozy way. And when I'm reading Dark Academia, I'm not looking for cozy. I am not looking for a cozy read. And I think it also set it up for failure because this said it was a mix of A Deadly Education, which is my favorite book ever, and then something else. I don't remember what the other thing was. This is 100% nothing like A Deadly Education up to where I read it. The vibe is completely different. This, again, feels very cozy in the atmosphere. Like maybe there's crazy stuff that happens later, but just the writing style is very cozy. Like you guys know what I'm talking about. Like cozy has its own very specific writing style, which is normally why I don't really like it too much. I struggled, did not like this one. Very disappointed I didn't realize who the author was because I could have skipped this one. So I did end up DNFing this, but again, I think a lot of people are gonna like this one. And that leaves us with the final book, which I have read. I read it in like 2 sittings. Like I flew through this book, and that is A Forgery of Fate, and I'm very excited to say I give it a 3.75. This is very generically like all of her other books, and I say that in the best way because they're just fun books. They're fun books to read. Don't expect anything like groundbreaking from these books, but I really loved that we actually got to explore the underwater world in this whole world that she's created, the universe that she has created, because this is part of, let's see, I'm really glad I got the Fairyloot one, but it is part of this whole entire expansive universe that was part of 6 Crimson Cranes. So if you read that series, you know that in the second book, it's not a spoiler, but they do go to this underwater kingdom, and it's very brief and it's very out of place in the book, and it's actually one of the reasons I didn't love the second book. It does not feel like it worked well with the rest of the book. So I am so happy that she ended up writing a whole book that was underwater, because the underwater kingdoms were actually really, really cool. So this is basically following a different character. Like it's a couple of characters are mentioned from the original series, but our main character is an entirely new character, and it is a forced proximity fake marriage situation, and it's really good. It's really good. It does drag in some parts. There is some repetitiveness to it. The relationship can be a little bit frustrating sometimes, but other than that, this actually was a really, really good read. I don't really have much to say about it. That is also one of the other reasons I really didn't update too much, because it kind of just flew by, and it's just like, it is the epitome of what Elizabeth Lim writes. If you like Elizabeth Lim, you're gonna like this one. If you don't, you're not gonna like this one. That's just kind of how it is. I would say if you are looking into reading this one, I would read the others first. I have not read Her Radiant Curse, which is a spin-off and like a prequel kind of situation to the 6 Crimson Crane duology. So I don't think you need to read that one. That is on my list to read very soon, because I would like to catch up with all of her books. But I would say to read 6 Crimson Cranes before this one. Like you really need to kind of understand the world a little bit before going into it. So read that duology first and then pick this one up, and I think you'll have a really good time. But I was very happy with this. And I will say, and I feel like this is the first time I'm saying this in a really long time, I liked Owlcrate's design better. Like these all are awesome. They all match each other. I really like the fact that they match each other. but I really, really love the Owlcrate design. I think it really understood what this book was. Whoever this author was understood the assignment, like stunning. I still, no, I actually love the side. They actually did a really good job with the font. And then the back is perfection. It is everything that I wanted from this book. It's just, it's so good. It's so good. And I'm so happy with this. Like everything about this is perfect for this book. So I'm really excited that I have this copy. I will be keeping it. So let's quickly go over what I read in this video, even though it was, again, it was kind of a weird video because I wasn't updating it as much as I normally do. And I feel like I was almost entirely in this room, which I try not to do. Even though I don't have like a ton of places where I update, I am looking into kind of diversifying where I update just so there's more variety. So it's not just you looking at me in this room for the entire video, especially for the longer videos. So let's talk about what we read in this video. Before our little wrap up, we did get through quite a few. I'm actually impressed. It wasn't all DNFs, which is like, thank goodness. I'm really sad there were 2 DNFs. And it's from the 2 boxes that I was expecting it from, which is really, really unfortunate and kind of is pushing me to be like, okay, maybe I really should just get rid of these. So first up, we had Love and Focus. This was actually a really, really cute romance. I gave it a 3-star. I will not remember, and I barely remember now what happened in this story, but I remember having a great time, great vibes. It just doesn't have staying power, and that's kind of why it gets a mediocre, it was a fun time rating with a 3. Then we attempted, like very strongly attempted to read A Treachery of Swans. I think I got 150 pages into this one, and it just was not my vibe. It was not my vibe. I struggled with a lot of this. It felt very middle grade, and the cover did not help that situation. The cover feels how the book was written, and to me that was very, very young. And that's not saying anything wrong with middle grade. It's just middle grade is not my genre that I enjoy reading, so it definitely was a struggle for me to come up with the motivation to read this one, and so I didn't. I decided not to. So I did DNF this. I do think this is going to be for some people. I would love for you guys to tell me if you've read this and you enjoyed this, but I could not get through the dialogue and the way things were described. So for me, it was a writing style problem. Next, we ended up reading Heir of Storms. This one I gave a 2.5. Again, very mediocre. I feel like there were a lot of problems in this one. Again, another book that doesn't have a ton of staying power, but I'm looking back at it fondly. I just had so many problems with this. It was way longer than it needed to be. The naming systems drove me crazy. The fact that the main character's name was Blaze and I think her brother's name was Flynn. I just never got over that through the book. And the romance was very, it was fine. I ended up liking what they did with the romance, but I was kind of wishy-washy with it. I did have a moment of like, oh my gosh, that's crazy that happened. But I did get very bored in the middle section. I think this could have cut out about 50 pages and had the same effect for the rest of the book. But I'm giving it a 2.5. This could be a 3. I think a lot of this is going to depend on if I end up reading a sequel that comes out. And I forgot to say, I am keeping this one. I am getting rid of A Treachery of Swans, and I am keeping Heir of Storms for now. And then next we had The Incandescent. I DNF'd this before 50 pages, actually. I just could not get into the writing style or what the story was really about. I am going to be getting rid of this one. And then very last, and the obvious winner of this video, I'm really sad I didn't have anything 4 or higher. Like, that was kind of the point, is to like really love these books. But again, it is giving me an idea of what I should be doing. I have started skipping more boxes, so I feel like that's working, so that's great. But the winner at a 3.75 is, I love that this video series actually is making me read these books, because I don't know how long it would have taken me to get to this book, and I don't know if I would have been as interested if I waited like 2 or 3 years outside of reading Six Crimson Curse, or I guess more like 3 to 4 years, because I think it has been like 2 years. And I really need to read Her Radiant Curse. But I really enjoyed this one. I'm keeping actually both of my copies that I have, which is really exciting. I gotta figure out where to put this one. Like, I don't know where to put this, but I'm excited to have this. I am excited that I enjoyed it. So I would say that's a pretty good kind of, like, I feel like it was very mixed. It was very, very mixed. I think both books that I DNF'd aren't bad books. They just weren't for me. So that is also kind of a win. Like, I can say, okay, they just weren't for me, but they picked probably good books. So that is actually really nice. Also, it's thundering if you hear any like rumbling sounds. And we're keeping 3 books, which I think is amazing. So we're gonna see. I could unhaul them later, but right now I'm calling it a win. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I had a lot of fun with this one. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Definitely let me know down below what rating you gave these books if you ended up reading them. If you don't have anything else to say, but you want to leave an emoji to let me know that you're here. Let's see. Forger of Fate 1 and it has a lot of, oh no, there's a lot of turtles. Leave a turtle for Forgery of Fate. The turtles are actually a really big part of this book. That's really, really cool. So leave a turtle if you don't have anything else to say, but you want to let me know that you were here. And like the video if you enjoyed it, and definitely make sure you subscribe so you miss any future content. I am already working on July's books. I'm really excited. I've already finished one, and it's a 5-star. I'm gonna just tell you that right now. I have quite a few books that I'm reading for that video, but I have a 5-star in the next one. So I'm so excited. I'm so happy about that. So I just want to give you a little sneak peek. So I'm really excited. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that, because it's going to be great. I am very, very happy about it. So anyway, that is everything that I have for you today. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.